Scammers are everywhere. There are a bunch of people trying to impersonate me and Sean and trying to get what's in your wallet. We do not promote airdrops, and we also do not engage in copy trading. We will never ask you for any money in any capacity. Don't trust, verify. If something feels off, check with the Discord community before acting. To ensure you're speaking to the right Sean and Krisha, just click our names on the top right hand side.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. This is going to be a quick update on SUI. Over the past few days, I received more than a few PMs from people who are worried that SUI is going to break down because it lost its diagonal trend line. And I'm here to tell you guys today that SUI is completely fine. Keep it mango, guys. Keep it easy. Keep it stress-free. If there's one thing that I've been teaching over here at Mango for a very long time, well, hell, ever since we started this channel, it's that if you're going to use diagonal lines, use it only as a visualization tool. At best, you use it as a tertiary tool to the rest of your technical analysis tools, right? You do not want to be using it as a primary tool. Always use something that is objective. And the most objective things that you can use are indicators, where you can't move and adjust them, and horizontals, right? And which is what we used over here for our SUI trade. It's because we use our Mango dynamic indicator, something that we can't adjust ourselves. And in confluence with that, we use horizontal lines, right? And while one can make an argument that horizontals are also subjective, they are nowhere close to being as subjective as diagonal lines. And I'm going to show you guys that today. Indicators and horizontal lines are as objective as you can get, and it keeps you safe, it keeps you in the trend, and it reduces your stress, it reduces decision fatigue. For example, over here, we drew in this diagonal line, right? And all I did was match up these wick lows. But there are multiple ways to draw diagonal lines, guys. I'm going to go ahead and switch on over to a fresh chart where I don't have any diagonal lines drawn. And I'm going to show you guys how we could have drawn this in another way. I could have said that I'm following this diagonal line right over here where I'm using a combination of candle closes and candle wicks. Hell, you could use only candle closes for that matter as well. It doesn't matter. The point over here is that I could have drawn this multiple ways. You could have drawn this multiple ways. And had you drawn it this way, for example, it's not wrong, but you would have said, hey, SUI lost its trend right over here, and you would have exited. And what happens a couple of days later? Boom, you have a big impulsive leg to the upside, breaking out into all-time highs. However, if you had followed something objective and you said, you know what, I'm going to use a combination of horizontal lines and key horizontals right over here, the previous consolidation that we broke out of, and on top of that, you use an indicator, for example, the Mango dynamic, which is something that we've been following over here. And by the way, guys, I've been giving guys the levels every single video, so there's no excuse. You can see that, hey, we haven't really lost the trend, we haven't even lost the horizontal, right? Oh, by the way, guys, Bitcoin as well, bouncing off the 2-day dynamic, everything's looking a-okay. People are stressing out for no reason. In fact, Bitcoin following our trajectory thus far perfectly, right? Maybe, just maybe, we get our way all the way up to the top of the channel over here. And again, guys, even this diagonal line, I would be using only as a tertiary guiding visualization tool. I am eyeing these horizontal boxes over here before this diagonal line right over here. So I follow these guidelines across assets, and I urge you guys to do so. We've been following SUI on the 2-day dynamic ever since we got into this trade. Hell, even on the previous trade right over here, right? We put on a SUI trade last year on the 2-day dynamic in November, right over here at around 50 cents. We traded all the way up to $2, or if SUI lost the 2-day dynamic. And hell, it did both. It got to $2 and then it lost the 2-day dynamic and played right against it too. So when we establish that SUI is following a particular trend indicator, why would we overcomplicate it? Why would we try to get cute? Simply wait for the easy invalidation. Now granted, you can use the loss of this trend line, the loss of this guiding visualization as a way to get mentally prepared to exit the trade when we lose our key invalidation, which is the 2-day dynamic, right? When we lose that, that's when you can look to reposition. But you use your guiding trend line as a way to mentally prepare, not as a way to get out of your trade. That's just too risky to lose position in a bull market. And again, going back to the discussion we had in the live stream just yesterday, right? If you think that there's runway in this bull market, you should not be trying to get cute if your key trend indicators are holding, right? And right over here, SUI again giving us a test of the 2-day dynamic, and what do you know? Wicking right off it. I'm still looking for SUI to make its way up to around $6.75 to around $7.75. Somewhere around there is where you can look to take some profits. But until we actually see that move, as long as we're holding the 2-day dynamic, which is, by the way, coming in around $4.35 at the time of this recording, go ahead and note that down. Remember, these levels are dynamic, so whenever these levels do update, I will be doing another video to give you guys the updated levels. So make sure to hit the notification icon so that way you're not missing out on the next SUI bid opportunity. If we do lose this level, I will be looking for either the bottom of the 4-day dynamic, which is coming in at around $3.45, not the top of the 4-day dynamic, the bottom, or preferably the weekly dynamic. Okay, just keep your life simple and look towards the weekly dynamic at around $3.30. Okay, note those levels down. You're looking at around $3.40 to around $3.30. Now, of course, again, I want to remind you guys, these levels will update, so make sure to hit that notification icon so when the new video comes out, you guys are keeping updated on these dynamic levels. Now again, guys, everything's looking a-okay. Do not stress. SUI is looking fine. It's on its way to this red box right over here. In fact, there's something else that we could be saying, right, in regards to these diagonal trend lines. We don't know whether we should be following this diagonal trend line on the weekly or the 2-day. Maybe for the diagonal, we should be watching it on the weekly. And in that case, we're holding fine, right? Now again, I'm not going to go ahead and move it just yet. Remember, this is just a guiding, visualizing tool. Our major levels are going to be off the dynamic, and we are holding the dynamic a-okay for now. If we lose it, I'll let you guys know. Make sure you guys are keeping updated on these videos. Until then, keep it mango, keep it easy, keep it stress free. I'll see you guys in our Discord. Ciao.